one of the world's top consultants on dating and intimacy, Jonah Lavitt.
Children's Memorial Hospital, downtown Chicago. I'm only a 10-year-old boy. I'm shown my new bedroom, my new home. It looks like a prison cell. There's 4 metal bars welded on the window. Somebody hated this place so much they must have jumped out the window and killed themselves. I had these flashbacks to this medical meeting that happened just a couple hours before, where the doctors ended in saying, in conclusion, we recommend that Jonah stays with us for a while for further assessment. As a 10-year-old boy, I didn't realize I had just been admitted into a pediatric psych ward. So, interestingly enough, next thing that happens is I see this series of events that happen in this hospital over the next couple of days, and it just occurred to me, and by the way, I'll share this really quickly. It's like I saw my dad cry for the first time in this meeting, and he had this look on his face of like complete defeat. And I just thought to myself, like, why is my dad crying? Like, what's wrong? Something is not right here. And so what ends up happening is I get this like really weird awakening, and it wasn't seeing my dad's tears that kind of awoken something in me. It was actually hearing his weeping sounds at the table with his doctors. And he looked kind of as if like he just watched his own son die. And I just remember that day, he was right. The boy in me died that day, and the man remained. And so I had to get out of there, had to plan my escape. So I became the perfect kid. All the checkboards and things they were marking me off for. Within a week, they let me go, said it was normal. Just get him out of that situation. Well, the situation I was in was I was having emotional abuse from an elementary school teacher. And she would single me out in class and call me stupid publicly, by the wrist, take me out of my chair and drag me down the hallway all the way to the special ed department. And she would just leave me there for the rest of the day, routinely. Eventually, I would come home crying, lock myself in my room, and just take a pillow and scream it out like, I hate myself, I hate my teacher, I hate my school, I want to kill myself. What's interesting, though, is the doctors were kind of right. It wasn't me that was the problem. My teacher had a problem. So, long story short, next thing that happens is, so I go back to my school system after this whole ordeal, and everybody gives me the cold shoulder. I don't find out till I'm 18 that my teacher told me Jonah went to a special school, and all the kids are like, oh. So all the rumors spread from 5th grade, 6th grade, all the way through 12th grade. Never got a second chance. So I left Chicago, went to California for a fresh start. But after 8 years of social anxiety, depression, worthiness, deserving issues, stuttering, speech problems, didn't look too good. So on my way to college, my mom gave me this stack of medical files from when I was a kid. It's like 73 pages of problems, diagnosis, observations. In it says, due to Jonah's social anxiety, we fear that Jonah may never have an intimate relationship with a woman. But I was 18 or 19 reading this thinking, I want a girlfriend now. And so, right? So what happened is I had this weird calling to go to London, of all places. So Mr. Social Anxiety jumps on a plane by himself, goes to London. I'm on the plane thinking, I don't know why I'm going to London, but something important's going to happen to me here. Yeah, 3 days later, I get partnered with this guy in a business class at Westminster, and we're walking to a coffee shop. And he just starts talking to women as we're walking down the streets of London randomly. He's just like, you look amazing, by the way. And me, I'm just like, what did you just do? And he's like, oh, I just was saying hello. I'm like, you can't talk to strangers. He's like, what? And I'm like, what? What? And we both were confused. I'm like, clearly you know something. He became my mentor for the next 5 months. We go out 3 times a week meeting women. It was awesome. It was awesome. So anyways, so what ends up happening is, so I end up going out on my own eventually and start meeting women. Now I can share with you, the man you see today is not who I was at 18, 19 after 8 years of this. So I'll give you a picture. So I would meet anywhere from 100 to 200 women, and I would have one of them give me their phone number. That's how weird I was, right? Because I had no calibration, right? Because up until then, like, so give me a backstory, like, my mom was ordering food at restaurants for me as a teenager because I couldn't make eye contact with people. I couldn't speak, I couldn't answer the phone. I was just in the basement playing video games from age 10 to 18, yeah? So like, walking up cold to strangers on the streets of London was not in my comfort zone, yeah? So anyway, so I kept doing that, and then what ends up happening is, I end up logging every single time I meet or talk to a woman, I log it on my phone and I kept track of what was the outcomes, what I learned, what I screw up, what happened. And so now, 10 years later, I've engaged with over 10,000 women, and there's 3,500 women's phone numbers in my phone now. I've been out with over 240 women, and I've turned 6 of them into loving relationships. So all from a guy that was never supposed to have an intimate relationship. That was a hell of a journey, I'll tell you. But what I can say is I've came up with this conversation flow in the beginning that would allow me to kind of curb my anxiety, have sort of the effectiveness, but the authenticity, but also allow me to basically be automated and not have to be in my head. So now I teach that exact process to awesome, ethical, and mostly introverted men and women so they can finally find and keep their ideal relationship. And so I just want to share with you guys, when I'm speaking at NASDAQ, I'm going to tell the story of how the guy that couldn't even be touched, I used to feel like angry if someone even touched me. My own mother would hug, and I would go like this and shrivel up. And so now I teach affection and sensuality to people all over the world. So I just want to share with you that no matter where you are, there's a lot of hope in that. And I'll share with you one last thing, and that is, we've all been talking about business and all these different things. I just want to share with you, it's like, why are we doing all these things? Why are we going for the Inc. 5000 list and speaking at prestigious places? It's like because we want someone to share that with. And so I want to just make sure you guys all realize the number one achievement that we all should look at is love. Thank you.